Welcome back, everyone. Hi, if you are new here, my name is Chaida. I'm a Black conservative commentator and writer, and this is my podcast where I discuss relevant issues surrounding people, society, culture, and politics. Before we get into today's topic, I first want to share a scripture that you can find in Matthew 5 in verse 44. It says, "But I tell you, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you." That's it, very short. Love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. Because today is a very enemy-based topic. We're going to be talking about Candace Owens and President Donald J. Trump and this feud that's been going on between Candace Owens and Donald Trump. Candace Owens, if you don't know her, is a political commentator. She runs her own podcast. And obviously, we know President Donald Trump. But President Trump. Candace Owens was first seen in the conservative movement back in 2017, around 2017, when she first supported Donald J. Trump. She's worked with various networks such as PragerU and Turning Point USA, The Daily Wire, where she had a falling out with one of the owners, Ben Shapiro. And now she is more of an independent commentator. She has her own show and she does her own political takes on her own YouTube channel. And obviously we know who President Donald Trump is. He's the president of the United States. He was born in New York to a successful real estate empire. He was a businessman, entrepreneur. He was loved by Hollywood, and now he is the president of the United States of America. There we go. That's it. The video can end here. Just kidding. All right. So what's going on with this feud between Candace Owens and Donald Trump? Because it just seemed like overnight she just did a big switch and just decided to be against him, or it just seems against him. She recently did a video where she's doing a MAGA funeral, talking about how the MAGA movement is dead now. So let's talk about it. What are some of the reasons why Candace Owens has turned against President Trump? And the first point that I want to make is the betrayal of the America First promise. Before President Trump took office, he made an America First promise to always keep the American people in mind when it comes to foreign issues such as the war in Ukraine, Israel, Russia, so on and so forth. Owens has strongly criticized Trump for authorizing United States airstrikes on Iranian nuclear facilities. Owens sees as a stark reversal of his pledge to end never-ending wars. Owens feels embarrassed that she even told people to vote for Donald J. Trump because she feels that the Trump administration is making moves on these foreign war issues that feels like a betrayal to the American people. At least that's how she feels. The second point is here, the attack on free speech and academic institution. Candace Owens was shocked by Trump administration targeting universities, particularly Harvard University, by freezing billions of dollars in federal grants over DEI policies. And in case you don't know what DEI stands for, it stands for diversity, equity, and inclusion. Owen believes it is dangerous to suppress speech, even under the guise of fighting DEI, and has been very watchful of the administration. So this whole debacle with Harvard University and Donald J. Trump, it really have created such a debate online, and whether the Trump administration has taken extreme steps towards quashing down DEI issues going on across various academic institutions in the United States. And I think this is fair because we want to make sure that people's civil rights and liberties are always protected. As I said before in previous videos, it is the American government's job to protect people unalienable rights and civil liberties. You have a right to freedom of speech in the United States, and that right should be protected by the American government. And oftentimes throughout history, the American government has not done very well in keeping up with that protection of people's rights. So I do understand why Candace Owens is very critical of the Trump administration and of particularly President Trump. And the second thing, and the last thing that she has shared that I think it's very important to go over is how she thinks President Trump has been sort of using the MAGA movement, the MAGA base, in manipulating them and manipulating us. As you guys know, I have my MAGA hat. I'm obviously part of the MAGA base, and Candace Owens believes that President Trump thinks we're stupid, and that we'll fall for whatever lies or distraction or whatever basis that he throws at us. It was believed that, and Candace Owens believes that Trump thinks his base is stupid. They will fall for every trick in the book. Owens took an aim at him handling the Epstein rumors, claiming he used escalating war rhetoric as a distraction. And I think when it comes to the Epstein files, I think that I really am upset with the Trump administration and how they handle that too. But I don't think she has a basis for why she believes that President Trump thinks his base is stupid. We're not stupid. And a lot of people think that the MAGA base is stupid because President Trump made a remark about how he loves poor educated Americans, which I don't really buy it. But there are so many people in this MAGA movement who are well educated, who have college degrees, and yes, and then there are people who are just smart intellectually that may not have a college degree behind them under their belt, but you have people like Charlie Kirk who has no college degree, but you cannot tell me that he is not smart. So yeah, I think that some of these claims, some of these issues that she has with the Trump administration, particularly with President Trump, I think a lot of it is baseless, but I can understand why she's very critical of the Trump administration's efforts into taking down DEI policies on academic institutions and cracking down on free speech. That is something to be watchful of, because taking down free speech is very dangerous, and we do not want an American government that is cracking down on people's unalienable rights and civil liberties. At the end, Candace Owens has been known to take on public feuds. There's not even a time in America, I can't think of a time in America where Candace Owens was not in the news because she was in a feud with somebody. First, it was Kim Klacik, and then it was Steven Crowder, and then it was Ben Shapiro and the Daily Wire, and then Laura Loomer, and now the Macrons of France. She's been putting out online how she believes the First Lady of France, Brigitte, I think that's how you pronounce it, Brigitte Macron is a woman and not, is a man and not a woman. And it's a whole lawsuit behind it and everything else. Yeah, but at the end of the day, Candace Owens is such a controversial figure because she has such extreme takes on people, society, issues, politics, and so on and so forth. So yes, I do believe she criticized President Trump on a fair basis, but I think some of her takes are very extreme. But nonetheless, she still remains a very popular figure in the conservative movement because people like to know what she's up to and like to see what she does next and are very invested in the work that she does. And by saying that, I'm very grateful for the time that you have invested in me and the work that I do here on This Is Her America. So if you like today's episode, make sure you subscribe, make sure you give a like if you haven't, and make sure to leave a comment, and I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching and listening. If you are a new guest to my show, please subscribe, like the episode, and leave a comment. If you are watching this on any platform like Spotify, please be sure to leave a great review. I am always open to other commentary and feedback on my podcast. For all my returning guests, thank you so much for your continuous support. Your investment gives me the motivation to keep going and keep producing content. So thank you so much to you guys. Love you always. If you'd like to get to know me a little bit more, you can check out all my social media sites. If this episode really resonated with you, then you'll definitely love my deeper dives on my Substack. So be sure to check it out and see all the things I'm writing about. And please, always stay rooted in truth, stand firm in grace. Never forget, this is her time. This is her America. Yours truly.